BR Tidwell 55 here, responding to Dragon Ball Jiu-Jitsu and his impressions on the new MacBook line. Uh, First of all, I want to say, Dragon Ball, I do enjoy your videos and your comments. You express your opinions, but you make logical, reasoned, factual arguments to back up your opinions, and that's admirable. Especially, you avoid a lot of the childish behavior that you see here on YouTube, and that's very gentlemanly, and I applaud you for that. In your video, getting to your video, you talk about the MacBook and the MacBook Pro lines, the pros and cons on those, but you don't mention at all the low-end model, the MacBook White 13-inch model, and I'd like to get your impressions on that. I'll share mine. The main thing I think is that I think it's too expensive for the market segment that Apple is possibly going after with that particular model. And I say that because if you take that laptop and you compare it to, say, a Dell Inspiron 13, and you configure both of them so that they have the same processor, same amount of RAM, same size hard drive, the bells and whistles, Bluetooth, and everything else, what you're going to find is that the MacBook is about $73 more expensive than the Dell. Depending on who you are, whether that's a competitive price point or not. For me, $73 could very well be a deal breaker. Maybe not for other folks, but I do think that, you know, I think that Apple could have probably priced that particular notebook a little bit cheaper to make it even more attractive to a wider target market. And I say that because I look at another manufacturer who can put the same hardware in a package and do it cheaper, and also keeping in mind that other manufacturer has to license the operating system for that computer from a third party and then pass the cost of that license on to the consumer, where Apple obviously doesn't have to do that because they made the OS. So with Apple there's no OEM licensing issues. So I think that's another, you're basically buying the OEM license directly from the manufacturer, which you don't do with someone with like Dell or HP. So I think that there's some middleman costs that are non-existent there. That is another place where Apple could possibly pass some savings on to the consumer. Now, what I'm not saying is I don't think that MacBook White is cheap. I don't think it's poorly put together. It's Apple, so it is probably a very good quality product. But I think that Apple is. I think the margin is probably just a little too much. I think Apple could probably sacrifice some margin on that particular model, and I think they would probably make it up in volume. So that's sort of my opinion. Be interesting in hearing what you think.